Hey everybody. So last time we got the validation, we changed it from something kind of like this. Let me see if closing this works. Oh, I'm in the wrong kind of view. Um, so we kind of had like something like this where we check against a value um, in the density, fog density, but then I changed it to this where it just calls this function, it passes the caller current value and the validation tokens, and then this function figures it out. So today we'll do the same thing, and it should be super duper simple and basically make it more generic. I do not think there's a whole lot of value in knowing what the actual invalid values are. So, I think it makes a lot of sense to make something like this generic, but I could be wrong. It could be like valuable. All this is for naught because at the end of this year, which today is December 2nd, Monday, cold Monday in Georgia, uh, United States, Georgia. Um, so today is November 2nd, and it is I just realized my computer is not plugged in, and I don't know where the power is. But oh, there it is. Um, but uh, at the end of this year, I'm going to switch and rebuild this with a new underlying structure or architecture. This application. So this was a POC, and like I tried and tried and tried. I Before I started this project, I genuinely believed it was almost it is was always a bad idea to go from POC to MVP, so minimum viable product. So um, and um, every time I've ever worked on a project, so there's two things you can always count on. One is if you're building a POC, they're going to want to turn it into the MVP. They're going to want to every single time, no matter how sincere they are like, no, we're going to do the POC and then we're going to start from scratch and build. No, they're not going to. They're going to want you to do that. And that has always turned out badly, and I tried really really hard on this one, and it just makes so much more sense to use the new to to use architectures that I sort of discovered while building this POC. The other thing, and I'm just always amazed by this one because they always swear. You say, hey, that this thing that we built, it doesn't make a lot of sense. The user is never gonna be able to figure that out. Blah blah blah. Blah. And they go, oh no no no, we're gonna have training. There's gonna be all this training for it. They always say that, and they never ever do. They always end up saying, it is just so, easy to do. There's just no reason to have training. That always happens, and that's because the people that are making those decisions use the application as you're building it, and so they learn how to do it, and they don't understand that other people that don't come up using it from the beginning, they don't understand that those people are not gonna. It's gonna be very difficult for them to figure it out. But anyways, so those are two things that always happens. I tried really really hard on this project to make it to where the POC would become. I would just be able to go from it. I would say the vast majority up until about video 270, I was probably like, oh, I think there's like a 90% chance that I'm gonna be able to use this as the launching pad for the MVP. Well, not only can I not use it for the launching pad of the MVP, but I haven't even done enough things in this POC to make it a legitimate POC. So, like, it did prove a lot of concepts, but there's a couple more concepts that I still need to prove, and that is I need to add sound, so basically music, like if uh, so that I could, have these animations go to music, and I need to be able to do upload and download, um, and then I need to also integrate a physics engine. So until that is the case, let me try this. All right, so I muted myself and I sneezed. I practiced it right before this video. I definitely have some sort of little code. One of my or virus. One of my coworkers was in at work on Tuesday, and he had sort of a scratchy voice. And I noticed that like last Thursday, my voice got scratchy, and then he said he got pretty sick over the weekend, and now, oh, not sick, not miserable sick, but he didn't feel well over the weekend, so now I don't feel well today. I'm hoping I'll be over it by Thursday because that's the day that I'm generally scheduled to go into work, but I don't know. And I could, if I'm still sick, I'll probably just stay home and work from home that day as long as I'm healthy enough to work. But anyways, so I've wasted 5 minutes and 49 seconds. So let's get rolling. So basically, I want to do this identical thing: is value overwrite exception. And I think the values are exactly the same down there. So I think I can copy this line of code, come down here. Nope, that is the code that does it. And I can come in here, do this, and then replace that with not is value override exception. Right, so basically this is just saying unless it we don't need that comment anymore. That comment's a bit confusing now. Unless it's some sort of exception, if the validation is uh, there's no validation failures, then if it's not equal to none, if there is one, then replace it with the previous if the previous one happened to be valid. So that's basically in a nutshell what all of that does. But basically all this does is lets you know if whatever you passed in, whatever the current value passed in, is in fact a overwrite exception. It's something that you're allowed to keep even though it was incorrect. So now we're going to go near. We're going to try a. So that got. We're going to try point. So point is an override exception, and then we're good. So we're still good. So what is left? Okay, so now we have our near. So let's go ahead and get rid of near in the template. So basically we want to do this whole thing, basically make far configurable, and we want it to have validations, and we want to have these little infos and all that. And I'm hoping that it doesn't take that much to do. So anyways, that is that for coding today. That was easy. I notice I am starting to get a couple of people that regularly watch these videos, and that is like truly more than I ever expected. The one of the main there's a lot of reasons why I make these videos, but one of the main reasons is because like I honestly would not be where I am today if people hadn't made videos, and for me to follow along with, and then my son, he decided he wanted to be a coder, and so he started trying to become a coder, and we sent him to a boot camp over at Emory to learn how to. Emory's like a kind of a local prestigious college, and they had like an 8-week boot camp. I don't think Emory itself was running it. I think it was some other organization. Might have been like an 11-week, and they taught him React and stuff. But so he wanted to learn how to code, and honestly, the way they taught him in the boot camp was not realistic. That is not how real people code, and so I wanted this show, these videos to be more closer to how actual people code actual solutions. One of the main problems that schools have, and I don't even know what they could do to get away from this, is they kind of have to create tests that have answers. But many, many times when you're coding, there is no answer. You have to come up with your own answer, like a creative way to generate an answer. Or sometimes there is no answer, like the answer doesn't exist. You're ahead of your time. The, the thing that, like if you said, oh, I want to write some code that would make my computer grow legs and run around. Right now, there's just that may be possible in the future, but that's not possible today. There's no API that can do that for you. Um, so the point is that coding in real life is very very different than coding in uh, in school, and I wanted like people to see how to really do it. Um, so, anyways, tomorrow I'm gonna add the far. So, and I want to get all of this added in. I think it should be pretty simple. I think we've sort of made everything pretty darn uh, like repeatable. I mean, I'll have to make a new key down function. I'll have to make a new key up function. This launch info is going to be reused. Um, I think has error as part of the form. This validation error component is going to be reused. So most of it is that, and then the couple of things that are sort of going to be new, like the save previous, um, like the ones that I have to make that are custom are going to be pretty copy and paste, with slight tweaks. Um, so that is that. Let's see, 11:41. I think that's very reasonable. I appreciate everybody watching this. I appreciate the fact that I just appreciate all of it. I think this is an amazing time and happy coding, everybody. Oh, and I got to quit doing this. I guess this one is like kind of does like a goat head or something. I don't know, but a lot of people are doing this like that. And I don't know even what that's supposed to mean, but it is nice. Now, this I think is peace. And I heard you absolutely should never do that one. Like that one is a bad one. So I don't know. I would like to do a cool hand gesture, but I do, and I've always liked this one. So, anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.